The Secret Misses. Chapter 801. The elder carefully held the little boy's hand. That's right, this is a descendant of the Brown family, I can feel it. The elder shifted all his attention onto Little Treasure as he held Little Treasure's hand and stared at him. He really looks like Luna, look at his eyes, and his nose. The elder kept on saying that Little Treasure looked just like Luna. However, Luna was thinking to herself, was Little Treasure not identical to Theo? How could he possibly look like her? Luna, please take the child outside first. I have something to say to him in private. The elder looked at Theo with a serious expression. You sure you don't want to rest now, grandfather? Don't overexert yourself. Luna gently scolded him. It's all right, I'm not tired yet. Or are you afraid that I'll swallow him whole? Luna, take Little Treasure outside first, Theo told Luna. Luna looked at Theo helplessly, then she led Little Treasure out. In the hospital room, the elder stared at the man in front of him. What's up with you and Luna? We were going to get married when we realized Luna was pregnant, but due to some misunderstanding, we got separated, until we reunited 5 years ago. Theo finally came out after making Luna wait for half an hour. How was it? Luna went up to him. Grandfather asked you to go in with Little Treasure, he wants to see him again. Oh. Luna quickly brought Little Treasure in. As she was about to talk to the elder, he looked past her and focused on Little Treasure before speaking in a gentle tone. Little Treasure, how old are you? Little Treasure quickly wrote, 5, on his writing board. Are you going to school? Going to kindergarten now. Do your father and your mother have a good relationship? Yes. Luna was worried that Little Treasure might have problems communicating with grandfather, but they interacted well on their own. In fact, she was the third wheel in the room. The elder, who was weak earlier, seemed much more refreshed. Who knew what Theo told the elder and what explanation could he have given? After the elder talked to Little Treasure, he spoke to Luna. Luna, you must treasure Theo. It's not easy to meet a man that really loves you. I will, grandfather. I know that you're focusing on your career, but don't neglect the people around you, alright? Oh, okay. After they left the hospital, Luna was confused. Hey Theo, what did you say to my grandfather? Why was he suddenly on your side? He was all over you. Logically speaking, he'd be frustrated that you made me pregnant, shouldn't he? Do you really want to know? Theo looked at her. Luna nodded. Yes. My value rises with the child. Luna was speechless. This could not be any more accurate. I told grandfather that we're not marrying right now, considering your career, but we can do it any time as soon as you say, yes. That was mean. That basically meant that he was putting all the blame on Luna. But it did not seem wrong. That's all? What else did you say? Luna felt that he was not telling her everything. Theo looked at her and said slowly, I told grandfather that we planned to have another 3 to 5 children. Luna almost choked. 3 to 5? That's too many. This was unexpected. This guy, he was good at dealing with the elders. Chapter 802. After they left the hospital, they sent Little Treasure to school. On the way back, Luna cocked her head sideways and looked at Theo. Then, how did you explain our relationship to grandfather? Theo had said that he would handle it, so she had not asked much about it, but she was curious now. Theo looked straight ahead at the sun and answered while driving, I said that we fell in love at first sight and that we were unable to control ourselves, then Little Treasure happened. After that, due to some misunderstanding, you left Little Treasure and I. We reunited 5 years later and realized that we still loved each other, so we got back together again. It was the first time Luna heard Theo utter so many words that she felt surreal. It did not seem like him at all. Luna was surprised. Wow, Theo. You're so good at making up stories. You should be a scriptwriter already, and a romance drama scriptwriter at that. Theo looked at her through the mirror. I'm not making it up. It's what I envisioned. How nice would it have been if we had met each other earlier? Luna's heart skipped a few beats. Theo's words lingered in her mind. How nice would it have been if we had met each other earlier? She had also told herself the same thing countless times before. How nice would it be if she had met this man earlier? The next moment, at a red light, Luna leaned forward and pressed her lips against Theo's. The girl's sweet fragrance dominated all his senses. Theo was surprised at first, then he tilted his head and passionately returned her kiss. The light turned green and Theo returned to his senses when he heard the honks of the cars from behind. I'm driving, don't mess around. Luna pouted. I'm not messing around, I only wanted to give you a small kiss. You're the one who messed around. Theo had nothing to say in his defense. The next day was a Saturday. The elder was already walking around when Luna brought Little Treasure to visit him. He even played with Little Treasure the whole morning. Luna was still worried about his health at first, but after she saw that he was getting better and better, she felt more relieved. Grandfather, it's going to be visiting hours soon, I'll take my leave for now. Little Treasure, say goodbye to great-grandfather. She always avoided visiting hours to avoid meeting Emma. The elder patted the little bun's head gently. Okay. Rest assured, Luna, I'll never tell anyone about this. If people knew about Luna's relationship with Theo, who knew what kind of trouble would happen? He had to at least wait until both of them were married. If not, the news of Luna being pregnant out of wedlock would surely affect her career. He was now all satisfied with a grandson. Ultimately, he was glad to know that the Brown family still had a descendant. Even if he were to leave the world now, he would be able to rest in peace. However, for Luna and Little Treasure's sake, he had to live on and be there for them. After all, he was also going to wait for his second, third, fourth, or even fifth great-grandchildren. Chapter 803. After Fashion Week, Spirit Studio had proven themselves worthy of the Golden Award. In addition to Alice's influence, they were quite well known now, and this helped to open up new opportunities for them. Various parties contacted them and expressed their intention to work with them on their new project. However, there were simply too many of them from a diverse range of backgrounds, and it was hard to judge. If they picked a wrong company to work with, then it might just spell the end of them. Luna's workload suddenly increased significantly. While she needed to research on a party to collaborate with, Angelo and Freya were working on the samples. As she was occupied with her work, the assistant from Alice finally arrived. Freya stood up and stretched as she heard the doorbell ring. Is it the marketing director? I'll go get it. Moments later, Freya led a lady in. She was wearing a crisp champagne dress with her hair tied into a bun and not much emotion expressed on her face. She exuded an incredible aura. I'm Ashley. CEO Alice asked me to offer my assistance here. Ashley spoke straightforwardly in a formal tone. Hello, I'm Luna, the person behind Spirit Studio. Please have a sit. Luna brought her into the office. I was late because I had a few tasks to hand over and it took several days, Ashley explained. It's all right, I understand. After some small talk, Luna went straight to the point. I'm not sure if CEO Alice mentioned this to you before. We're a fairly new and small studio, so surely we are incomparable to your workplace before. Although CEO Alice lent you to me, if you don't like it here, I'd be glad to help you talk to CEO Alice. No problem, I have no objections to CEO Alice's arrangement, Ashley replied expressionlessly. Luna assessed Ashley's attitude. While she was not very friendly, she did not look unsatisfied either. She was just obeying orders. This was much better than what she expected. She had been assigned here on such short notice, so Luna did not expect her to fit in so quickly. Luna continued with her introduction. Our studio is really simple, there's not much explaining. Here are your two colleagues, our design director Angelo and his assistant Freya. They introduced themselves and Luna noticed that Ashley's gaze was transfixed on Angelo for a little while before she returned to her usual robot-like self. Afterwards, Luna gave her a tour around the studio and arranged a workspace for her. Our aim is now mainly focused on high-class bespoke and retail shops. The target audience is the high-end market, so we must pick our client groups carefully. Ashley spoke up, I'll filter through the suitable clients in 3 days, and I'll deal with them after you look through the list. I'll discuss further collaboration details with the other party. All right. Although she looked cold, her level of professionalism was top-notch, and her willingness to be so involved solved Luna's worries. Luna would just see if Ashley would keep working obediently or would fit with them well. Most importantly, this beauty was not Luna's type, so her chastity was defended. Chapter 804. I'll leave it to you guys. I have a job to attend to, just call me if there's anything. Alright, Luna, go quickly. Remember to help me take some photos of Adam, it's best if you can get shots of you and him together. Luna was attending a hot talk show. Because of the popularity of The World, they invited the main cast to talk about their shooting experience. The main characters of the night were Emma and Ethan. Most of the topics revolved around the both of them. Luna, Patricia, and the other artistes were just there to serve as foils. Adam was a special case. He would be invited even if he was just a side character. Moreover, he acted as the secondary protagonist this time. As the host was chatting with Emma's group, Luna sat there quietly without interrupting. However, since she acted as Adam's better half in the movie, the host would sometimes mention her name. Luna, your scenes with Adam earned the tears of the audience, and your popularity is soaring. Everyone thought you guys looked really good together, and you even made it into the top 10 best on-screen couples of the year. And in the voting poll, the most popular male character went to your army doctor, Eden. Aren't you glad? Really? Luna looked surprised. That's right, look at this, it's the online voting poll and Eden's leading. It's ranking even higher than Ethan's main character. As the host was speaking, there was a picture of the online voting poll flashed on the screen displaying Adam's vote as the highest. At that moment, everyone was anticipating how Luna was going to reply. It was a tricky situation. If she made a mistake, she might offend other people. Apart from the popularity of Eden's character, the main reason for Adam's high votes came naturally from his fans. But if she were to say that she was happy or proud, she would be indirectly criticizing Ethan and Emma, and in turn, offend their fanbase. Luna smiled. Just as the saying goes. Which saying? The host asked curiously. Luna looked at Ethan and Adam. The main male lead belongs to the female lead, while the co-starring male lead belongs to everyone. Not only the host laughed. Emma, Ethan, and Adam's fans all cheered. Luna's smart reply did not offend anyone. Backstage, the director looked at the cameras and noticed that a few of them were focusing on Luna. Luna had amazingly glowy skin, and her flawless face drew the cameras to her. Even if she was not saying anything, her eyes shone as she listened to others speak. The cameras were always fond of aesthetics. Later, keep 3 of the scenes that focus on Luna's face. Put her scenes together with Adam's, the director ordered the assistants. After the talk show was done, Emma excused herself with a smile and she spoke to Luna and the directors for a little before heading back to her car. As she stepped into the car, her smile turned into dreadfulness and she quickly made a call back home. Chapter 806. Sophia and the assistant had apparently already gotten used to Emma's stress and her worsening tantrums, so they tried not to speak and minimized their presence to avoid being scolded. Rita, how has grandfather been doing this few days? Emma asked her maid at home. Miss, he's doing well. He even asked Elder George and other friends to go fishing this morning. When they returned in the evening, he looked great. What about the things I asked you to investigate? I've checked that only people from the family and a few shareholders visited him in the hospital, no one suspicious went. What about Luna? The nurse mentioned that she dropped by a few times, but she just visited him and chatted with him. There was nothing out of the ordinary. All right, I got it. Emma's expression worsened after she ended the call. What had happened? The elder had been in such a terrible condition, then he suddenly recovered and got much better. He even hosted a shareholder meeting yesterday. Because she saw the elder was about to kick the bucket, she planned to get closer to the shareholders who were on Robert's side, but as the elder's health improved, she gave up that thought. Although it was Robert who was handling the company now, the elder still held the real power and the shares in his hands. Not only was the condition at home a mess, history had been facing issues since the incident at the Golden Awards. The period after Fashion Week made things worse. With Spirit Studio taking away numerous big clients of theirs, even though it was not that much of a loss, things could spell trouble if Spirit Studio continued to grow. However, at this moment, she had to focus on her main career. Her most important aim now was to gather various resources and networks through the entertainment industry. She could not lose what she had. What's up with Luna recently? What job did she take up? Emma asked cautiously. She just acted as a co-star, but couldn't get anywhere quick. I heard she wanted to take up the lead female role in a drama, but was stopped by Isabella. Don't worry, as long as Millie exists in Glory World, she would never have it easy, Sophia replied. Emma's expression softened a little. Help me take on more jobs that are related to positive literary films. Make sure that the director has received awards before, and I don't care about the pay. Sophia instantly understood her. Although literary films were not very popular, they were much easier bets to win awards. Before this, Emma would never have considered literary films. However, since she was already popular enough, what she had yet to achieve was a respectable award. It was not enough with just the world, which was still relatively unknown. The industry was competitive, and there were a lot of new artists aiming for the top. Winning the next Golden Film Award would be far from easy. Got it, I'll try my best, Sophia replied, but she felt troubled. Emma had tried too hard back in the day, starring in too many commercial films and dramas which were poor in terms of standard and content. She did get more views, but her standards suffered. Directors who were aiming for awards would have looked for new actors instead of Emma. Chapter 806. The talk show aired a few days later, and the reaction to it was excellent. Aside from the debate between Ethan's and Adam's fans about how much screen time both of them had, it was expected. In the end, Luna's performance attracted attention. Did you guys realize Luna was being really low profile? The other artists kept on interrupting, but Luna did not even say anything even when she's the co-star. She only answered when she was asked a question, and she answered all of them well. Her EQ is top-notch. I think I'm becoming a fan of her. That's not the main point. The main point is her beauty, her beauty, her beauty, all right. I have to repeat important things 3 times. I'm already a fan of hers. Agree. I'm a shipper of Luna and Adam. If you looked closely, Adam almost always looks at Luna's direction. I would never believe that there's nothing going on between them. The talk show caused another bump up of fans on Luna's Weibo. Together with the increase when she was promoting The World, her number of fans had grown significantly. Most of the comments asked her to post new pictures, or just to ask her about Adam. Luna would never try to get famous off other celebrities, even if it was Adam. However, she felt like she was boring them by just posting selfies, so she put up some of her cosplay photos. She only had the intent of just putting them up as a hobby, and also to soften the intense celebrity competition in Weibo, but it had gotten her a lot more fans. At Glory World Entertainment Office. These are some scripts that I just received. Read through them. Stacy passed some scripts to Luna. After The World aired, Luna finally had something presentable in her portfolio. The secondary leading characters Ella and Eden were not any less popular than the main leads, and suddenly, various companies started sending scripts to Stacy. Probably because Luna played the role of Ella so well, the scripts sent to her were roles of either the unfortunate princess, the most beautiful lady in town, or the seductive mistress. Most of them were secondary or tertiary lead roles, but there were also some main roles from small productions. Luna kept the scripts. All right, I'll look through them. Stacy pinched the space between her eyebrows as she asked hesitantly, on a side note, Adam starred in another film recently. There's a supporting character with little screen time who was supposed to be played by Isabella, but she rejected on short notice, and there isn't anyone suitable now. I was thinking maybe you could help. Adam's new film? The one by director Jasper? Sure, no problem. Luna accepted gracefully. Since it was director Jasper's film, she would be honored to be involved, more so as a supporting character. In addition, Adam had helped her numerous times, so this was nothing much. When Isabella took on the role, she had not been famous then, but everything was different now. She had taken on a few big projects and would never bat an eye at small characters like this. Stacy gave her another script. There aren't many scenes, so you should be done soon. Here, I've listed out the scenes that you're involved in. Chapter 807. Because the drama team's end was urging her to hurry, Luna had only discussed with Stacy for a short while before taking Bonnie with her and rushing to the set. She was going to play the late first love of Adam in the film. She only had to shoot a scene of the two of them before her character died, so it was quite easy. If all went smoothly, they should be done within a day. Why are you here? When Adam saw her, he regarded her suspiciously. Stacy had me come over to help with the emergency. Luna answered. Adam turned his gaze to Sheldon on the sidelines. Sheldon cleared his throat and mumbled, "It's all because you're unsatisfied with all the other girls you've seen." I had no choice but to borrow someone from Stacy. Luna was speechless. I really admire you. This character only has one scene from the start until the end, and it was the last scene before she dies of a chronic illness. The director didn't even say anything. Did you have to be so picky? So what if it's just one scene? That's my first love. Adam said matter-of-factly. Luna's mouth twitched. Let me correct you, it's just your first love in the film. She had no words for Adam. She had never met an actor as hard to please as him. In such a film, many times, the main protagonists would have higher authority above the director and producers, and Jasper probably did not know what to do with him. Jasper was not old, he was only 30-odd years old. He started to direct when he had just graduated university, and his debuting film, The Stars, the Moon and the Sun, had become famous in the entire northern and southern region of China. It was labeled in the American Business Weekly as the Star of Asia, bringing fame to the protagonists in the film who were now elites in the entertainment industry. Then, his other coming-of-age themed work titled Love is in the Future topped the box office charts that year, setting the trend for a series of coming-of-age movies. Jasper was a genius director who always liked to shoot the most unexpected things. No matter if it was choosing the script or the actors, he was visionary. Sadly, even though his films in the past few years were not bad, none of it could surpass those two benchmark ones. Some outsiders said horrible things, even commenting that his talent had run out. Luna actually felt quite pitiful for him, yet she knew that such a result for a director like Jasper was an expected compromise upon entering the industry. Jasper, the person is here. Do you want to come and take a look? Sheldon ran to tell the director. What's the use of me taking a look? Is that punk satisfied? Jasper and Adam had collaborated quite a few times, and their relationship was pretty tight in private, so the way he spoke was quite casual too. No more issues on Adam's end. Just waiting for your nod of approval. Sheldon anxiously said. Borrowing someone from Stacy was really his last resort. It was hard for him to be stuck between Adam and the director every time. Oh. Jasper, who had been occupied, started to walk over. When she saw the director, Luna quickly greeted, Hello, Director Jasper, I'm Luna. Jasper evaluated Luna, then he said, Luna, you're the second lead for Director David's The World, aren't you? It was unexpected that Jasper would know her, so naturally, Luna was instantly delighted. Yes. No wonder this guy had no opinions. I've seen that movie, it can be considered the peak of Adam's acting, said Jasper as he could not help but evaluate the girl before him for a few seconds more. From the audience's perspective, they only saw the two people's suitability for the role and their collaborative chemistry, so with The World, Adam's acting progress was seen as amazing. However, Jasper had collaborated with Adam for a few times too, and he could tell that to actually bring Adam's acting to such a remarkable extent, definitely required some tricks up her sleeves. Chapter 808. When both ends had agreed that there was no issue, Jasper started to run through the script with Luna. The shooting went very smoothly and they were done in 3 takes. The other two was only to shoot from different angles. At last, when Jasper reviewed the images in his camera and felt deeply moved, he thought that it was no wonder that old David had publicly praised this rookie many times in the director's circle. After the shoot had ended, Luna changed into a casual outfit for convenience. After all, more and more people knew her face now. Luna had been very busy for the past 2 days, so he could finally use this opportunity to catch up with her. Adam immediately stopped her with shining eyes. Want to go to my place and shoot it up? I still lack 3 battles before I can level up. I must not lose. What's in it for me to help you level up? Luna raised her brows. You want an incentive for such a little thing? Are you still my bro? Adam, tomorrow. Jasper was just about to say something to Adam when he saw the young man beside him and paused. Is this your friend? Adam's mouth twitched. Director, you know this person, okay? Luna cleared her throat and waved. Director, it's me. Jasper's jaw dropped as if he had just seen a ghost. You're Luna. The young man before him wore a black racer leather jacket with sleek hair and had unruliness written all over. It was obviously a man who did not lose to Adam's aura, but if one were to look closely, you would notice there was indeed some resemblance to Luna. How could the same person look so different just by a change of clothes and different makeup? The change in the charisma that was altered from the inside out could not be done just by putting on a wig. Even acting could not be this natural, this perfect. Well, in this acting industry, there's too little freedom, so I had to think of something. Director, you understand. Luna revealed an expression of tacit mutual understanding. After finishing work and donning the male disguise, Luna had naturally changed even her tone and demeanor. Those who did know would think that another charismatic and unruly man lived inside her. Jasper could not describe what he currently felt. That long-awaited agitated feeling of emotions made it seem as if his blood was about to flow in reverse. Director Jasper, what's wrong with you? Luna felt goosebumps as he stared at her with a pair of burning eyes. Adam unhappily waved in front of Jasper's eyes to block his line of sight. Hello, Director Jasper, don't tell me you like men. What kind of look was that? Jasper pushed his hand away and said, Go away, if I liked men, would thank you first. Luna burst out into a laugh. Who would expect that Jasper was like this in private? Jasper did not understand what was going on either. Ever since he saw Luna, he felt like he was in a situation where he could walk away any minute. He took out a cigarette and took a drag from it, then he took out another and offered it to Luna. You smoke? Adam felt his forehead cramp up. Jasper, what the hell are you doing? Luna laughed and rejected, Director, I've quit smoking, don't tempt me now. Jasper put out his cigarette then ran to the front. He turned to remind Luna, wait a minute, don't leave yet. A moment later, followed by Luna and Adam's confused looks, Jasper dragged over his assistant. Chapter 809. Jasper's assistant was a young girl in her 20s, and she was just arranging the props when she was suddenly been dragged over. She looked confused as she panted to ask, Director, what's the urgency? Jasper looked at Luna, then looked at his watch before pointing at the assistant. I'm giving you 10 seconds. Make her fall in love with you. If you can do it, I can guarantee that I'll make you become an instant hit. At that moment, Luna, Adam, and the assistant were speechless. What? Make a girl fall in love with a girl? Was Jasper crazy? While Adam was shocked and the assistant was completely confused, Luna had already realized something. He was giving her an opportunity. The moment Jasper started to time her, Luna caught the assistant off guard by pulling her hand. She sat on the wide chair behind her and smoothly pulled her to sit on her lap. The assistant instinctively shrieked, yet stopped when Luna tersely said, Don't move. Then, Luna carefully took off the assistant's heels and looked at her red and swollen ankles. 10 seconds had yet to be up, and Luna had only said the 2 words, Don't move, yet the assistant girl was already staring at the young man's tensed face with empathy and love. Her heart was already beating fast while her breath came in short pauses. She was speechless. Jasper looked at her, then directly said, you passed the test. Now, follow me. Luna helped the assistant take off her heels, then let her put on her own sneakers before helping her steadily get to her feet. Then, she stood up and replied Jasper, okay. Adam, who was completely ignored, was speechless at this. Pfft. Jasper, where are you bringing her? Jasper had already driven off with Luna off like the wind. Behind him, the assistant's gaze remained longingly at the direction Jasper's car had left in, Senior Adam, which rookie is that handsome guy? Has the director taken a liking upon him, and chosen him to be the male lead in the new film? My God. Too charming. Earlier when he carried me and helped me change my shoes, my heart was about to jump out. Adam looked unhappy. Are you blind? That was a girl. No way. The assistant was flabbergasted. Adam rolled his eyes. What do I get out of lying to you? The assistant covered her blushing face when she heard this. Oh, so handsome. It's okay if she's a woman, crap, am I leaning the other way? Adam had no words. Jasper directly brought Luna to his company. Sit. Luna casually skimmed the office. There were no pictures of the set, films, or that sort of thing. Jasper's office was unusually simple. The only things on the wall were just charts for the characters in a script and pictures of casting actors. I have a script on hand. It has already been accumulating for 3 years because I could not find a suitable female lead. I could have simply gotten some famous artistes and cooked something up, and the box office sales would definitely not fare too badly in the end, but I could not give up this script, said Jasper, as he pulled open the lowest drawer with a key and took out a script booklet. The pages were yellowed. One look and you would know that it had been read many times before. Luna carefully took the script and looked at the summary first. When she finished, she finally understood what Jasper's weird actions were for, female in a male disguise. Chapter 8:10. Yes, have you seen Shakespeare's Twelfth Night? Jasper asked. Luna's eyes shone and immediately, she nodded. I have. That was one of Shakespeare's classic comedies, and Luna's favorite out of all his comedic works. It was about a pair of twin siblings who got separated during a shipwreck and had both thought the other was dead. The younger sister disguised as a man to replace her brother and became the servant to a duke's family. She even fell in love with the duke, but the duke loved another lady. The sister helped the duke run away to propose to the lady, but sadly, the lady had fallen in love with the sister, who was disguised as a male, and the duke was rejected. The most important character in the entire play was the brave, passionate, and pure sister. She had disguised as a male to be by the side of the person she loved, quietly loving him to help him get the person he liked, yet hinting to him from time to time that she loved him too. The other female character in the play was the Duchess for whom the male lead had fallen in love with. She was beautiful and smart, kind at heart, and someone who valued friendship. She was loyal, brave, and persistent. She rejected the elegant duke's love, yet she had taken a liking for the servant twin sister. At last, she gathered her courage to confess her love for the person she had mistaken for as the girl's twin brother. Ultimately, both the female leads obtained their desires and gained their own happiness. This was a very positive and beautiful piece of work. This script is an adaptation of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, except that the context has been changed to modern day to fit with the current day's aesthetics and flavor. However, I don't want to shoot it as a simple city drama, so my demands of the actors would be very high, Jasper explained. Luna nodded to indicate she understood. At the same time, her heart was suddenly been set ablaze. Jasper's script was definitely much better than the one she had seen before. She had mostly liked the earlier script for the numerous exciting scenes, so she still had her own motives. However, for this one, the storyline to the message was a few levels higher than the one before. Besides, Jasper had worked on it for 3 years. Jasper watched the twilight out his window in a daze. He was only in his 30s, yet the expression on his face seemed to have gone through many hardships, as if all of his passion had been depleted. He mocked lightly, when I first entered the industry, I had a gut full of passion for the art, for the dream, and now, do you know how everyone shoots movies? To decide on what to shoot is not for the director to say, not even the scriptwriter, but the investors. And the directors? They're not creators, at most a puppet, just a laborer. Artist? All that is bullshit. As she listened to Jasper's words, Luna did not know what to say. The current situation could not be changed by one or two people in the industry. Even a talented director like Jasper had to compromise, but it was obvious that his heart was still unwilling. Luna, there are some things that are best if I clarify beforehand. I plan to shoot this independently and not accept any investments, so my compensation for you will not be too much. In fact, I will be using an entire cast of newbies including you, so the risk would be pretty high. It could flop, and even your hard-earned reputation from the world could be damaged. So, whether or not you want to accept this, you should consider it carefully, Jasper said as nervousness fished across his eyes. He had finally met Luna, and he was ready to burn his bridges for once, but he had no right to ask anyone else to be crazy with him. Chapter 8:12. When Luna heard this, she smiled and stood up to hurl her hand towards Jasper, her eyes clear. Director Jasper, you're betting your 10-year directing career on this while I've only got the world, so I'm still profiting either way. In fact, to be honest, I've waited very long for such a script, so there's no need for me to consider further, Director Jasper. I'm happy to embark on this collaboration. Jasper was stunned, then he stretched out his hand to shake hers. It's my pleasure. Because this dream that had never extinguished from the depths of his heart, he cared so much about this script, and would not allow there to be any flaws. His ambitions made him want to find an actress like the Oscar-winning Hilary Swank in Boys Don't Cry, to really be able to act to the extent where it was hard to differentiate between male and female. But to let all those small, internet female celebrities put on a male disguise? That shoot would end up as a horror movie. He would much rather let this script rot a lifetime in his drawer than touch it. However, just as he had thoroughly compromised with reality, and had taken loads of investors' money to shoot commercial films that did not move him, he met Luna and saw that his passion had yet to be extinguished. Jasper muttered to himself for a while, then he said with a serious expression, maybe I should treat Adam to a meal. If it was not for him being so hard to serve, I wouldn't have met you. Well, there really is no denying that. Luna laughed, looks like I should treat him too. Do you usually dress like this? Jasper asked, evaluating Luna again. Her body was clearly exquisite, yet no matter if it was her demeanor or posture, there was not a tinge of submissive femininity. Not too often, I guess, only when I need to. When she was abroad back then, she would often be in a male disguise. She had done less of that upon returning. However, she was used to it, and the longing to do so lingered. You're very natural, even making me think that you were originally like this. Even acting skills are useless, Jasper probed as he examined her. Initially, I was prepared to have the female lead prepare a month before, and within this month, she would live entirely in a male disguise so as to completely immerse herself into the role. It seems like you won't need it. I've observed that your speed of immersing into a role is pretty good. Luna actually wanted to say that she had not really used much acting because when she was in a male outfit, it came naturally to her. However, in this movie, she would have to act as two characters, not only the female lead, she also had to act as the female lead's twin brother too, so the pressure was pretty high. She did indeed need to prepare and study the characters. I still have a few more days till I'm done with the show on my hand. Wait till it's finalized, and I will start to plan the shoot and choose the cast. You can use this period of time to prepare. If there's anything you don't know or need help with, look for me anytime. Have your phone on standby. When everything is in place, I will contact you to join the team. Okay, I understand, thank you, Director Jasper. One last thing, to avoid any disturbances, this time I plan to keep the entire shoot a secret and not do any promotions. Are you okay with this? No problem. When Jasper left, Luna was impatient to convey the news to Stacy. Stacy was very happy for her, and said that she would support her fully. She also said that she would discuss the concrete details with the other side soon. Luna's new film was finally, officially decided upon. Chapter 8:12. At Royal Jazz Hotel, VIP room. In this year's competition-filled atmosphere, the world's historic film had achieved the third best result in this year's box office. Everyone from the drama team had gathered for a celebration banquet. Apart from the director, the producers, scriptwriters, camera crew and other acting members such as Emma, Ethan, Adam, Joyce, and several main actors were all present. A few of the main characters' managers were present too. There were many people in the huge room, and it was bustling with excitement. When Luna reached the room and greeted everyone, she was immediately called by Adam to a corner. "Tell me honestly. Why did that Jasper call you over for?" Adam looked at her seriously like he was interrogating a criminal. Luna rolled her eyes. "Why are you so tensed up for? Could he tank me?" "Huh, please, who would dare tank you? If he did, I should now be able to see the tabloid headlines that famous director Jasper had died in his home." Luna was speechless. "Am I that scary? Don't talk about unnecessary things. I'm being serious. What did Jasper talk to you about?" Based on his understanding of Jasper's character, he naturally knew he was not the kind of director to be inappropriate, but the way he acted in the afternoon was just odd. "Oh, right, speaking about this, I have to thank you instead. My new film has been decided," Luna said as she poured Adam a drink. "Jasper's?" Adam's eyebrows raised. "Yes." "Which script?" "Dream Chaser." "Please." "Luna, not bad. That guy actually gave you the script he has been safekeeping ask along?" Adam was obviously a little shocked. "I have seen that script too. I wanted to take it, but he said he couldn't find a suitable female lead and was not willing to shoot. This script has probably been searching for the right person for 3 years now." Adam recalled the script's plot and instantly understood why Jasper had taken an interest to Luna. This brat, what horribly amazing luck was she on? This script was practically made for her. "Who's the male lead?" Adam immediately asked. Luna shot him a look as if she had seen through him. "Don't think about it, Director Jasper said that he would use an entire cast of newbies, so you don't stand a chance." Adam scoffed. "Looks like Jasper is really ready to make you a hit. This film is, after all, led by a female protagonist, so if you choose me as the male lead, my halo would very easily overpower the female lead, so that must be why he's using new actors." As Luna listened, she felt that what he was saying was quite reasonable. Apart from that, he probably wants to return to his true self, follow his heart, and ditch all the complicated things to start all over again. Didn't he use an entire cast of new actors for his famous debut? Can the current movie market compare to 10 years ago? That was the generation of talents. How many classics were made? Now look again, how many are left? The point is, the risk is huge. Adam muttered. Luna raised her brows defiantly. "I like challenging things." Adam knew she would say this, so he pat her on the shoulder and said, "Even though the risk is quite high, this could create a miracle. Whatever it is, I wish you good luck." "Thank you. I'll ride on your lucky words." Luna raised her glass and toasted with him. As everyone was chatting and drinking, the door opened, and in walked the producer James. A frenzy later, the director David quickly walked over and asked, "How's it? Did you manage to invite CEO Goldberg?" Chapter 8:13. James Weather replied, "I just called to confirm. Second Master said that he would come soon. As for Mr. Goldberg, he's probably not coming." Even though David was regretful about it, he still nodded and said, "To be able to invite the second master is already not bad. The other master is so busy, how could he come to our small little celebratory banquet?" $50 million in investment was considered huge to them, but it was nothing to Theo. He might have even long forgotten such a thing happened. "Who's director David and producer James talking about?" From the corner of the room, someone asked with curiosity. "Who else could it be? It's obviously about our movie's investor." "It is Brown International." "What Brown International?" "I think you've drank too much." Because Emma caused that trouble, Brown International and Starlight Entertainment had withdrawn their investments midway. At last, because of Cleo from Glory World Entertainment threw $50 million here, then Goldberg Corporation threw in another $50 million. That's how our movie managed to continue shooting. Oh right, look at me. Now that the world is so popular, the investors have managed to profit quite a lot from their investment. Brown International and Starlight must be regretting? Of course, when they withdrew investments to exert power and threaten the crew, it turned out all good in the end. All their wasted efforts. As she listened to the discussions surrounding her, Emma looked obviously miserable in the shadows. If it was not for Luna, the huge number of profits earned from this movie should belong to Starlight and Brown International, then her status in the company and at home would have been one level higher. Sadly, now, she had gotten nothing. When they were promoting, she had to be suppressed as the female lead, and they had to bring Luna the co-star, letting her harp on her popularity as she wished. Emma, actually we aren't losing either. Think about it, they have spent double the amount of money and aren't they still making you famous in the end? Sophia could immediately see Emma's unhappiness, so she quickly consoled her. Before this, Emma would have listened to words like these, but now she found it annoying. Making me famous? They're obviously using my popularity to make Luna famous. From the start, the world had indeed paid the most attention to her as the female lead, yet as the movie continued to show in theaters, Luna had been gaining more and more attention. From the internet to the expert reviewers, they offered Luna great comments, and some even commented that Luna should be the real female lead in the movie. In fact, Luna was now in good relations with Glory World's higher management, Cleo, and Adam. Her pathway to stardom was paving well. How could she just take all this in? Sophia's expression stiffened as she thought about how Emma's skills were not up to par with the other person. As the female lead, she could not even stop Luna from taking the limelight, but could she blame anyone else? Right, I'm almost done discussing with director Zhou about his literary film for you. The contract will be done next week. Sophia changed the topic, and only then did Emma's expression start to soften. After a round of drinks, the door was suddenly pushed open. Oh, how happening. The person who walked in was clad in a flamboyant tuxedo in pastel blue with a messy and unruly fringe, and a pair of eyes that seemed to be electric. When he smiled, his entire being was radiant, and the moment he appeared, he attracted everyone's sight like a strong force of energy. Second Master is here. Quickly, come in and sit. The producer and director rushed forward to greet him. Oh. It's the CEO of Glory World, Cleo. He's even more handsome in person than on the magazines. If Second Master entered the entertainment industry, other male celebrities would be nothing. I'm so jealous of Glory World's artistes. Do they always get to see him in person? Chapter 8:14. Among the shrieks of the girls, Cleo laughed and said a few words to everyone. He was funny and charismatic, getting along with everyone soon enough. All the girls were screaming from his sweet words. Oh my God. Second Master is so friendly. No ego at all. Most importantly, he is so handsome. Even compared to a celebrity like Adam. Cleo was Glory World's boss after all, so after he entered, he naturally sat in the spot between Adam and Luna. When everyone saw that, they thought it was only natural and had no opinions, only envy. In front of Cleo, Emma was slightly awkward. After she made some small talk with him for her public appearance's sake, she did not say anything further and could only be like everyone else, observing Luna with an envious gaze. Luna speechlessly looked at Cleo, who had squeezed between her and Adam. She looked respectful on the surface to her boss, while she said in a lowered voice, Second Master, there are so many seats over there, can't you just sit over on Adam's side? Cleo immediately just crossed his legs and said, no way, I just like sitting in the middle of you two. Luna had no words to say. This devil of a protective brother was in motion again. Right, earlier I heard that producer Wang invited Theo too. Will he come over tonight? Luna casually asked. Cleo took a sip of his drink and looked towards the dim light, with light rays dancing. Menacingly, he said, beg me, then I will tell you. Luna's mouth twitched. Do you think it's fun to tease me? Then, Luna just took out her phone and sent Theo a message. My dear, will you be coming over for the world celebratory banquet tonight? Cleo's initial delighted handsome face instantly turned sour as he started to complain. Hey. You're breaking the rules. I won't allow you to do that. Luna rolled her eyes. Are the rules up to you? I just like to do it that way, what can you do? Very quickly, Theo replied her. We'll see, I have a dinner to attend. Luna thought about something, then smiled cunningly and replied, oh, okay, drink less. Also, you're not allowed to hook up with girls, don't even look at any of them for more than a second. I won't, they're not as pretty as you. Theo replied. Luna instantly covered her face. While Luna was secretly texting, Adam and Cleo were sneaking peeks. When they saw Theo's words, the two of them choked on their drinks almost simultaneously. Adam coughed profusely and cursed, Jesus. Cleo chimed in, oh, my precious eyes. When Luna heard their reactions, she immediately became alert and kept her phone away. These two horrible brats had actually peeked at her messages. It was a good thing that she sat in the corner most of the sofa, so there was no one on the other side, while Cleo and Adam were on the other, hence she did not have to worry if anyone else saw. Midway, a waiter came over to open a few bottles of especially expensive wine. James was curious, he went up to say, I don't think we ordered this wine. It was a Mr. Johnson who ordered for everyone. The bill has been paid, the waiter politely answered. Oh. When they heard the name Johnson, everyone instantly knew who it was. As long as it was an important dinner with Emma around, Liam would spare no effort to make her look good. It was no wonder that he was in the entertainment industry's list of top 10 best boyfriends. Chapter 8:15. Please. The price of these 3 bottles should add up to a few $100,000, right? I finally understood that no matter how hard a woman works, it's not as good as having a good husband. Emma's mood tonight had initially been at the pinnacle of misery, but when she heard all the crowd's praises and teases in reaction to the wine, she started to lighten up again. Liam was undoubtedly the best thing that happened to her in this lifetime. A while later, Liam, who was having a business social nearby, came over to greet everyone, then he was asked enthusiastically to stay. When Liam saw that Cleo was present as well, he wanted to network with him, so he stayed and then walked over to chat with Cleo. Cleo smiled and handled him skillfully with a few sentences before making him leave. Then, he held his chin and walked past the two lovey-dovey Liam and Emma and scoffed to Luna. Initially, I wanted to ask if you would be triggered, but then I thought never mind, you already have someone much better. Indeed, Luna did not look the other side, she was texting Theo and teasing him. Cleo shook his head and sighed, he could not bear to watch all the lovey-dovey scenes going on around him. He started to grumble, where's the fun in just singing and drinking? Let's all play a game. Since it was Cleo who suggested, everyone naturally agreed and echoed his suggestion. Okay. But, what do we play? Yeah, it seems like there aren't any new and fun games. Cleo smiled cunningly. It's not about it being new, as long as it's fun, so let's do truth or dare. Luna was speechless. Why was it truth or dare again? Could this guy come up with something different? The last time after she played it at his bungalow party, she was traumatized. However, as one of the classic games that was suitable for a party with many people, Cleo's suggestion immediately received everyone's approval. As for the rules of the game, it was very easy. To pick the big ghost was to win, pick the small ghost was to lose. The small ghost could choose between truth or dare, but if they were unwilling to tell the truth or do the dare, then they failed and would be punished with 3 glasses of drinks. Very quickly, the game started. At first, everyone was still holding their courage in, but at last many different questions like, at what age did you start kissing girls, how many adult moves do you have in your computer, and how long did you last, started to become frequent. Luna, truth or dare, the crew member who had gotten the big ghost card asked her with a malicious expression. Luna's luck was pretty good the first few times, and she had not picked the small ghost card, but after a while, she had unfortunately been hit. Luna then replied, dare. On such an occasion, the truth was more dangerous than dares. Then, please ask for a kiss from the gentleman who picked the ace of hearts. If you're rejected, then the dare is considered a fail. Everyone started to ooh. Hey, this is too easy. Would there be a man who would reject our Ning Beauty's request for a kiss? Exactly. Where's the ace of hearts? Who's the lucky man? Come out quickly. At last, a moment later, someone from the sofa cleared their throat and said, it's me. The person who said this was Liam. Oh. Why did it have to be Liam of all people? Everyone in the private room was instantly stunned, yet at the same time they were a little excited. Even though Liam's girlfriend, Emma, was present, but to be faced with a beauty like Luna, and coupled with the fact that it was just a game, would Liam agree? Adam frowned, while Cleo looked alert and panicked. This has gone overboard. Truth or dare had been suggested by him. If his brother found out, then he would definitely be dead. Hello, Liam, do you agree or not? Now many people had drank quite a fair bit and were all cheering him on. Chapter 8:16. Ha, you guys, Liam's real girlfriend is still here. How could he agree? That's not necessary. It's just a game anyway, and Emma is so easygoing, so she wouldn't mind, right, Emma? Under everyone's pressure, Emma looked at Luna, who was in a corner, then at the troubled Liam beside her before she said nonchalantly, it's just a game, of course I won't mind. Liam, you decide yourself. Oh. I told you so. Liam, you're so lucky. You have such a considerate girlfriend. Liam looked at Luna in the corner. Moments later, he revealed an apologetic expression and said, I'm sorry. Luna shrugged, then downed the 3 glasses of drinks on the table. Cleo could not even stop her in time. Damn it, this is over. Everyone instantly roared and shrieked, damn it. We've been publicly shamed again. I knew Liam wouldn't agree. His heart was already full, so other women are just floating clouds. There was also some smaller actors who envied Luna and they started to whisper happily, she's just pretty, did she really think that all men would fall at her feet? Now, she's faced rejection. How funny. For a vase like Luna, only those vulgar men who don't care about what's inside would like her, right? How could a noble person like Liam like someone of her type? Even if Emma wasn't around, I think he wouldn't say yes either. To be associated with such a small artiste that relies on her face for fame would just be degrading himself. On the side, Emma looked at Liam, clearly touched. I thought you, Liam, you didn't actually have to do that. I know it's just a game, I wouldn't mind. From the corner of his eye, Liam looked at Luna who held her head in her hands. Even though he looked sorry, he was still firm. Even though I've always treated Luna as a sister and wanted to care for her, I would definitely not do such a thing. Even if you understand, I wouldn't want you to misunderstand. Liam. Up next, Emma was picked. Emma chose a dare, then she was asked to kiss any man present who was willing. At last, there was no question, Emma obviously chose Liam. The attractive couple's passionate kissing led to the crowds teasing someone again. Luna was only asked to kiss someone in the game, yet after the ruckus, she felt like she wanted to press up to Liam. Just as she was thinking about this, it happened. It was right at that moment that Luna got chosen again. The person who had gotten the big ghost card was a drunk cast member who slurred, Luna, truth or dare? After downing 3 glasses earlier, Luna started to feel tipsy because she drank too quickly. She wanted to say truth, but before these words could come out, she actually twisted it. Dare. When she wanted to change her words, it was too late. The cast member immediately smiled and said, I've drank too much, I really can't think of anything for you to do. How about you do the same thing as earlier? But, to avoid awkwardness, let's not choose anyone in this room. Just ask for a kiss from the first person who walks into this room later. Chapter 8:17. Oh right, let me add on, it can't be the same gender. It must be of the opposite gender, the cast member added. When the crowd heard this, they became even more excited. Then, what if it's an ugly and vulgar man? Ha ha ha, she wouldn't be that unlucky, would she? Luna did not know how to deal with this. To choose someone from the room would be awkward, but to choose a stranger who walked in later would not. However, she had no choice. The rules of the game were as such, so she could only continue. At that moment, even though the crowd in the room continued to play, their hearts were obviously still wondering who the next person to walk in would be. The hotel was the liveliest at this hour, and every room frequently had people who walked into the wrong place, some of them even drunkards. In fact, a few had just done that earlier. However, it was not sure why this time no one had walked in for a long time, not even the waiters. If no one walks in after 10 minutes, is this considered over? At last, someone suggested. How can that do? If no one walks in after 10 minutes, then we'll just choose someone from the room. This is a good idea. The girl who picked the big ghost earlier nodded in agreement. Of course, if we choose from this room, then we have to choose someone of the opposite gender. As they watched the 10 minutes about to pass, they anticipated having to pick someone in the room. Luna's gaze started to skim across everyone. It was easy to choose just anyone, but if it had to be someone of the opposite gender, it would be better to wait for someone to walk in than have her choose. After all, if she chose herself, that would be too. Director, producer. These identities were too sensitive, definitely not. Cleo, Adam, they were even more untouchable. Liam was out of the question. As for the other male actors and crew members, Luna looked around and at last, she could not even pick any one of them. Her head hurt. When they noticed Luna's gaze looking around to choose, most of the men present started to become restless. Ha ha ha, I wonder who would have the honor to be chosen by our beauty tonight? I'm betting Adam. I've long noticed that these two people have something going on. Why not Cleo? This is a good opportunity to court the boss. Could it be Liam? Liam rejected her earlier, maybe she's unwilling and would ask again? Don't forget our male lead, Ethan. As the whispers and discussions in the room increased, almost everyone had been guessed by everyone, and Luna's head was about to explode. The girl who picked Luna earlier looked at her phone and said, Luna, 10 minutes is about to be up, but still no one has come. How about you just choose someone from the room? In the corner, Adam mumbled, how about I just sacrifice myself for a while? Actually, he was just casually saying this because he knew that Luna did not want to start any rumors with him. However, would she be taken advantage of if she chose someone else? She might as well choose him. Cleo shot Adam a look, then looked at the time on his watch. What's the rush? There's still a minute. At that moment, Cleo looked calm while he was actually about to have a nervous breakdown. Damn it, it was over, he was dead. God bless him. If he let Luna kiss someone else, he would definitely had to die here today. He was going to die tragically. Chapter 8:18. Time's not up yet? I am counting. The girl looked at her hand phone. Oh, now it's really about to be up, there's still 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Luna held her hurting head. I surrender. Damn it, could she not just surrender and drink up? However, before Luna could declare surrender, the heavy metal door to the room was suddenly pushed in from the outside. In that instant, everyone's gaze fell on the gold door, their eyes full of gossip potential. Whoa! Someone finally walked in. A guest who had walked the wrong way. Or a drunkard. A waiter. Or other crew members who were late. First, they saw the long fingers that pushed open the door, then their line of sight followed upwards to his low-key but luxurious obsidian cufflink, then his gray patterned tie, and at last, they finally caught a clear glimpse of his face. Those sharp features, defined eyebrows, broad nose bridge, and tight lips all formed a face that had clearly been favored by God when he carved it delicately. Under the dim light and musty air, the man was akin to wind from a winter land, his eyes sharp and clear while his temperament cool. He stood there quietly as he skimmed the crowd. Only his nonchalant look could make people revere him, as they dared not look him in the eye. Only those in a higher-up position would have such a palpable force. When she saw who had walked in, Luna blinked, then blinked again, as she thought she was starting to have delusions. Big boss? In that instant, everyone in the room was stunned. Who was this man? David and James knew him all right, but they had not expected him to come, so they were stunned in shock. Bro. Cleo, who had been silently praying, almost cried tears of joy when he saw the man at the door. Amazing. The timing is perfect. Thank goodness, he was saved. Adam was surprised. Something flashed in his eyes, but his expression did relax quite a bit. This way, Luna would not be in trouble. When all those who were immersed in the man's aura heard Cleo called him bro, they were suddenly shocked to their senses. What? Bro? What did Cleo just call that man? This man was Cleo's brother? Then, would that not be the CEO of Goldberg Corporation, Theo? The director had prepared to invite him over, but did they not fail? Bro, you're here. Come in quickly. Cleo ran over to him at the speed of light and brought him over. The director and producer reacted too, and they quickly ran over to greet him in fear and trepidation. Mr. Goldberg, you're so busy, we really didn't think that you could come tonight. We're too honored. Quick, come in. Whoa. It really was Theo. But this was no wonder. Apart from Theo, who else would have such a charisma? The first person who walked in was unexpectedly Theo. Instantly, everyone looked at each other and their expressions could not help but look sympathetic. This Luna was just too unlucky. First, it was Liam, second was worse, it was Theo. At last, they did not need her to ask before they knew that she would definitely be rejected on the spot. Maybe she would be regarded as intentionally trying to get close to him with this incident, possibly inciting negative feelings. Chapter 8:19. Everyone knew that Theo disliked seductive women, especially those who came up to him with ulterior intentions. He would not care even if it was a beauty. However, it was such a great chance to get closer to Theo. No one would give it up even though they knew they would probably get rejected. Emma had her expectations up. Luna was going to embarrass herself tonight. Luna, quickly go, someone excitedly reminded Luna. Then, Luna was pushed forward to Theo. As he heard what they were saying and he realized the air in the room was a little odd, he looked at Luna and asked, "What's wrong?" It was obvious that Luna had drank, her cheeks were red and she did not look fully conscious as well, so Theo was on alert. Director David coughed. "It's nothing, we're just playing a game." A game? Cleo touched his nose, then he pointed at Luna and explained, "We're playing Truth or Dare, and she was picked to ask for a kiss from the next guy who entered, or she'd be punished if she failed. Bro, you're the first person who came in." Theo's expression changed. No wonder Cleo urgently needed him to come within 10 minutes. What if he did not make it? Then, Luna would have. Cleo freaked out a little as he felt the icy cold aura from his brother. Luna looked up and stared at the devil's handsome face. Ah, she really wanted to kiss him. No way. Luna restrained herself with her leftover rationality as she remembered the game and that they were strangers here right now. The public did not know about their relationship. Under normal circumstances, she would have been rejected. Luna let out a cough and acted as if she did not know Theo. She gave him a signal to act as if they did not know each other. She respectfully greeted Theo. "Well, Mr. Goldberg, it's just a game, you don't have to mind too much about it, I can just drink as the punishment." Emma was a little disappointed, realizing that she was smart enough to anticipate that she would be rejected right away. Liam's tightened fist relaxed as he heard Luna's reply. Luna bent over and took a glass filled with wine. As she was about to drink it, her hands lost control. Theo was pressing her hand and he took away the glass, putting it back on the table. Then, he wrapped his arms around her waist, and amidst her confusion, he closed in and kissed her. Suddenly, the room went into complete silence, but someone's glass dropped to the floor and made a shattering sound. Luna was extremely confused. What just happened? What was the devil doing? Did she not signal him? Did he not get the message? Chapter 8:19. Everyone knew that Theo disliked seductive women, especially those who came up to him with ulterior intentions. He would not care even if it was a beauty. However, it was such a great chance to get closer to Theo. No one would give it up even though they knew they would probably get rejected. Emma had her expectations up. Luna was going to embarrass herself tonight. "Luna, quickly go," someone excitedly reminded Luna. Then, Luna was pushed forward to Theo. As he heard what they were saying and he realized the air in the room was a little odd, he looked at Luna and asked, "What's wrong?" It was obvious that Luna had drank. Her cheeks were red and she did not look fully conscious as well, so Theo was on alert. Director David coughed. "It's nothing, we're just playing a game." "A game?" Cleo touched his nose, then he pointed at Luna and explained, "We're playing Truth or Dare, and she was picked to ask for a kiss from the next guy who entered, or she'd be punished if she failed. Bro, you're the first person who came in." Theo's expression changed. No wonder Cleo urgently needed him to come within 10 minutes. What if he did not make it? Then, Luna would have. Cleo freaked out a little as he felt the icy cold aura from his brother. Luna looked up and stared at the devil's handsome face. She really wanted to kiss him. No way. Luna restrained herself with her leftover rationality as she remembered the game and that they were strangers here right now. The public did not know about their relationship. Under normal circumstances, she would have been rejected. Luna let out a cough and acted as if she did not know Theo. She gave him a signal to act as if they did not know each other. She respectfully greeted Theo. "Well, Mr. Goldberg, it's just a game, you don't have to mind too much about it, I can just drink as the punishment." Emma was a little disappointed, realizing that she was smart enough to anticipate that she would be rejected right away. Liam's tightened fist relaxed as he heard Luna's reply. Luna bent over and took a glass filled with wine. As she was about to drink it, her hands lost control. Theo was pressing her hand and he took away the glass, putting it back on the table. Then, he wrapped his arms around her waist, and amidst her confusion, he closed in and kissed her. Suddenly, the room went into complete silence, but someone's glass dropped to the floor and made a shattering sound. Luna was extremely confused. What just happened? What was the devil doing? Did she not signal him? Did he not get the message? Chapter 8:20. Everyone regained their senses soon. Wow! What just happened? Theo kissed Luna. Luna actually succeeded in getting a kiss? That was not exactly right. Luna did not even ask. She gave up trying, but Theo still kissed her. Emma almost broke her glass, then she heard the sound of glasses breaking and beside her, Liam's wine glass fell onto the floor. "Sorry, I need to go to the washroom." Liam quickly went out. Emma looked unhappy as she noticed Liam's reaction. What did he mean by this? Why was he so worked up to see another man kiss Luna? She thought she already had total control over Liam, that he only had guilt towards Luna, but at that moment, a sense of urgency floated up in her mind. What troubled her the most was that Theo actually kissed Luna. How was this possible? Theo sat down on the sofa casually and ignored everyone's gaze as if he did not just do something outrageous. Realizing Luna was still staring at him in horror, Theo asked, "Anything else?" Luna covered her mouth and shook her head. She stood up straight, turned around, and then sat back down on the sofa. Adam held his fists in balls and avoided everyone's eyes. The damaged Cleo covered his chest and pushed Theo over. "Bro, give me some more space." There was still some space between Theo and Luna. After Cleo pushed, Theo now sat right next to Luna. Mr. Lou is pretty considerate. Luna made it. Everyone started talking again and the atmosphere became more relaxed. At the same time, there were people whispering around as well. What was Theo trying to do? What could he be trying? He's just trying to play nice, he's a man after all. Isn't it normal? It's normal for men, but this is Theo we're talking about. What happened was too shocking. What's wrong with Theo? He's a man as well. With a beauty like Luna, there aren't many men that can restrain themselves. Take a guess, if Emma was not around just now, would Liam have let this chance slip away? Well, it's pretty hard to say. Everyone had thoughts of their own, but Luna just sat there obediently. As she was being all quiet and shy, she suddenly felt a warm hand on her thigh. Luna's back straightened, then she glared at Theo and stopped his hand with hers. What are you doing? Theo held his chin with one hand and sat there with his usual cool attitude, but under the table, he was holding her hand and not letting go. Luna tried to take her hand back but failed, so she just let him do what he wanted, her heart racing quickly. What was this? It felt like a secret lovers' meeting.